I know how much the parents care about their children, but it was nice to be able to have that shared, because I see it every day. I see how much the parents care about their children and coming in and talking to me and just in general conversation. But having these home visits really opens a line of communication that was never there before, which I think is, it just builds that foundation for growth for the kids.
Hola, Mari. How are you? Mucho gusto. Oh, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh, thank you.
So thank you, Maria, for letting us join you today.
Gracias por dejarnos estar aquí, Mari.
And this is just going to be about a 20-minute conversation.
Y esta es una conversación de solo 20 minutos.
And so the goal for me is to find out about Jose
Un poco más sobre José.
and your hopes and dreams for
Tus
him.
sueños para él.
And also,
Y también
I'd really like to
me
know
encantaría
some things that we haven't even spoken about in
algunas cosas
as
que
many
ni
years
siquiera
as I've known you.
nosotros no hemos hablado en todos estos años que nos conocemos, no.
Where
Hay ciertas cosas que no sé
where
de ti,
you've
¿no?
come from with your education,
Un poco sobre tu educación y cuál es tu experiencia con la educación.
and then finally some interest
Y también
for
lo que le
Jose.
interesa a José.
Dad, when did you first hear about the concept of parents or teachers visiting parents in their homes?
Probably about 4 years ago, and that was with the foundation of the preschool when they began doing home visits. And I always thought, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. And the preschool teachers were going out and visiting on a consistent basis.
So you were interested from the start.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Were there any misgivings you had about the process or how it might work for you?
No, I never had a misgiving about it. It was to me making a connection between the families and their child and how we can all work together as a team.
So how many home visits have you done, do you think?
With what we're doing here, 2 at this moment.
But you've done a bunch before that.
I've been to many families' homes, but never with the direct conversations, having those with the hopes and dreams. And I feel like that really opens conversations up. So it's really an important aspect, because coming and going into being invited, first of all, that's an honor to me to be invited into a parent's home. I feel like I feel very privileged to be a part of that. But to have those questions, have those 3 simple things, those as sentence starters for us, how the hopes and dreams, the interests of the child, where the background of the family, their education comes from. Those are foundational, pivotal things for me to understand how I can best serve the families and the child.
Right. So as you started doing these types of home visits, was there anything surprising or different than you expected?
I know how much the parents care about their children, but it was nice to be able to have that shared, because I see it every day. I see how much the parents care about their children and coming in and talking to me and just in general conversation. But having these home visits really opens a line of communication that was never there before, which I think is, it just builds that foundation for growth for the kids. And it's interesting, because if there is an issue, whatever that issue may be, the parents feel very comfortable coming to me, and I feel very comfortable in going to them, so there's not this building of a relationship. That foundation's already been laid, and it's just an easy conversation, and we're really working to make sure that the child gets the best, whatever their needs are, getting those met in whatever situation.
2 or 3 things that a teacher should keep in mind if they're going to do these kinds of visits to make them successful.
One thing which is most important is focusing on the child itself, and the child knowing that it's going to benefit building a relationship between all parties, which, I mean, it makes a connection between the teacher and the child, and then the parents and the teacher, with all of us working as a family. And that's the way I feel. I feel like we're a family. I feel like I can share information with Maria and not feel hesitant about it because we've already laid that clear foundation.
If there's teachers who feel nervous or scared to do that first home visit, do you have any advice?
You know, it's just like, it's always just taking that first step and just taking a deep breath and just going for it, because it's really easy, and the reception that I've received has always been positive.
Is there anything that you've learned or discovered in the first 2 visits that you've done?
It's always interesting to me where the family's education comes from, because my parents were my dad went through 8th grade, and my mother, they were both sharecroppers back in the South, and I understand how hard it is to make sure that you're getting an education and how an education benefits you, because without that it makes it very difficult, and you will struggle all your life. And so I always, my hopes and dreams for all of my kids is that they will graduate from high school and then focus on their college. I talk to my students about it all the time. I mean, that's my go-to is college, because we know that we're going, you know, we're building, going to high school, but their focus is going to be college, putting that in their brains. And I know that Maria and Mario, when I had Mario, they would take change and put it in a jar. Do you still do that? Put change in a jar for their college education?
Todavía ahorran para la educación
Yeah.
de los chiquillos. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was your reaction when you first found out that a teacher wanted to come visit you in your home?
¿Cómo reaccionaste la primera vez que la maestra te dijo que quería visitarte en tu casa?
Pues un poquito de nervios porque no, bueno, ya la conozco desde hace 5 años, pero me da como nervios porque todo el tiempo siento que es la primera vez que ella viene a mi casa, aunque ya la conozco, pero a la vez sentí que me iba a ayudar mucho a que ella venga y platique con nosotros.
So initially, she did feel a little nervous. They've known each other for so long, for 5 years, but it was the very first time that she was going to come over for that purpose. And but she did feel that it was going to help her a lot to have a conversation with her child's teacher.
What were your misgivings or what were your concerns about it?
¿Por qué estabas un poquito nerviosa?
Bueno, porque se suponía que mi esposo iba a descansar ahora también. Y ayer le dije que iban a venir ustedes y dijo que estaba bien, pero en la mañana le hablaron para trabajar. Y por eso también un poquito de nervio, porque yo quería que él también participara aquí.
Yeah, so her husband initially was going to be here. Unfortunately, he got called to go to work. She wanted him to participate too, so that's why another reason why she felt a little nervous.
So how do you, tell me why you think this would be helpful for Jose or for any children that you know that might go to school and might have teachers do this. Why do you think this is helpful for your kids?
¿Por qué en tu opinión estas visitas a la casa apoyan el aprendizaje o el éxito de tu hijo José, pero también de otros niños en la escuela podría impactarlos?
En mi opinión es importante que se hagan esas visitas a la casa porque con Mario yo no tuve la oportunidad de que una maestra viniera a hablar conmigo o que yo fuera a la escuela a hablar como iba Mario. Si no era por la conferencia, yo no me enteraba cómo iba Mario. Y ahora de que José entró al preescolar y eso, me ayudó bastante a desenvolverme como madre de familia y saber cómo ayudar a José.
Yeah, so in her opinion, it's really important. With her oldest child, Mario, she didn't have the opportunity for teacher to come to the home. So the only interaction she had with a teacher was through the parent-teacher conference, and that's the only time that she found out how Mario was doing. now with Jose, she's had home visits since Jose has been in preschool, and so those really helped her understand where Jose was at, and also how to best support him at home. She feels that the visits give her the confidence to become involved as a mom in the education of her children.